Samuel chapter 1. First off, who knows who Samuel is? Who knows who Samuel is? All right, we're going to get into it. Samuel was the last judge. Samuel ushered in the first. All right, Samuel is a Levite. He's from the line of the priest and seed. And he ushered in the first king, King Saul. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 99, right quick. Let's go to Psalms chapter 99. We'll see how the Most High felt about Samuel. Can you all still see and hear me clearly? Man, this is crazy. I keep checking this. Okay. Psalms chapter 99. All right, I'm going to start at 1. I'm just going to read it right quick. Psalms chapter 99, verse 1. The Lord reigneth. Let the people tremble. He sitteth between the cherubims. Let the earth be moved. The Lord is great in Zion, and he is high above all the people. Let them praise thy great and terrible name, for it is holy. The king's strength also loveth judgment. Thou dost establish equity. Thou executest judgment and righteousness in Jacob. Exalt ye the Lord our God, and worship at his footstool, for he is holy. Moses and Aaron among his priests, and Samuel among them that called upon his name. They called upon the Lord, and he answered them. He spake unto them in the cloudy pillar. They kept his testimonies and the ordinance that he gave them. Thou answerest them, O Lord our God. Thou wast a God that forgavest them, though thou tookest in vengeance of their inventions. Exalt the Lord our God and worship at his holy hill, for the Lord our God is holy. So in verse 6, it says, Moses and Aaron among his priests, and Samuel among them that called upon his name. So when you look, Samuel, who was also Samuel the seer, Samuel was a righteous and holy man, one of the holy men. When we speak about who wrote the Bible, when we read in 1 Peter, matter of fact, let's get that. I'm gonna get into the book, but I like to also, when I teach, give some insight as to us being prophets and you sisters being prophetess. When you deal with sisters and family members, they have questions. We got to be able to answer, and we got to be able to answer with the scriptures. So when people say, well, that book was written by men, that book was written by the white man, so on and so forth. Let's go to 1 Peter. Right quick. I'm sorry, 2 Peter 1. 2 Peter 1 and 20. We got to show them that these were not just ordinary men that wrote the Bible. Okay, these were holy men. This is why everything we do according to thus saith the Lord, because the Lord gave these holy men the word. It wasn't just ordinary men that the Lord was dealing with. 2 Peter 1 and 20. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation. For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men of God spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost. So we understand that when we read the Bible, we are reading the righteous and holy words of the Most High that were inspired and given to holy men. Let's go to the book of Sirach. Let's see how the Most High, again, how the Most High felt about Samuel. Because there are certain men in the Bible that the Most High has even a more special place in his heart for. Those that establish righteousness. And we're going to read about Samuel again in the book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 46. We'll start at verse 13. Sirach, chapter 46, verse 13. All right, it's Samuel, the prophet of the Lord, beloved of his Lord, established a kingdom, and anointed princes over his people. By the law of the Lord he judged the congregation, and the Lord had respect unto Jacob. So Samuel is also known as a judge. It says, by the law of the Lord he judged the congregation. So a lot of times you hear our people say today, you can't judge me. No, we can't pass judgment on you. We can't condemn you. We don't have that power, but we do judge according to the Bible. We are commanded to. This is called warning. We're commanded to give warning to our people. Verse 15, it says, by his faithfulness he was found a true prophet, and by his word he was known to be faithful in vision. He called upon the mighty Lord when his enemies pressed upon him on every side, when he offered the sucking lamb. And the Lord thundered from heaven and with a great noise made his voice to be heard. And he destroyed the rulers of the Tyrians and all the princes of the Philistines. And before his long sleep, he made protestations in the sight of the Lord and his anointed. I have not taken any man's goods so much as a shoe, and no man did accuse him. That's very important, because when you read in Proverbs 22:1, it says a good name is better to be had than riches, you know. So we have to walk circumspect. We have to be able to carry ourselves that even the Gentiles will look at us and won't have anything bad to say about us, except for they'll have to accuse us of serving our God, you know. Verse 20, and after his death he prophesied and showed the king his end, and lifted up his voice from the earth in prophecy to blot out the wickedness of the people. Later on, Lord's will, we'll get to that in the book of 1 Samuel chapter 28, when Saul was being wicked and evil and sought the woman of familiar spirits. That's what that's referring to. So let's go on to start reading. 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 1. It says, now there was a certain man of Ramoth Zophim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, the son of Jeroham, the son of Elihu, the son of Tohu, the son of Ziph of Ephrathite. And he had two wives. The name of one was Hannah, and the name of the other Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children. And this man went up out of his city yearly to worship and sacrifice unto the Lord of hosts in Shiloh. And the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, the priests of the Lord, were there. Now, my question, why were we going up to Shiloh? Does anyone know? Why did Samuel go up yearly to Shiloh? Does anyone know why Samuel was going to Shiloh and not Jerusalem? All right. Let's go to the book of Joshua. Let's go to the book of Joshua. I might just have a delay, so we're just going to keep it moving. Let's go to the book of Joshua, chapter 18, verse 1. Joshua, chapter 18, verse 1. All right. And it says, and the whole congregation of the children of Israel assembled together at Shiloh and set up the tabernacle of the congregation there, and the land was subdued before them. So that's where the tabernacle of the congregation was. Let's back that up. Let's prove that further. Let's go to the book of Judges, because you just got done reading Judges chapter 18, verse 31. Well, this will still be fresh in your minds from just coming off the book of Judges and Ruth. It says, started verse 30. And the children of Dan set up the graven image, and Jonathan, the son of Gershom, the son of Manasseh, he and his sons were priests to the tribe of Dan until the day of the captivity of the land. And they set them up Micah's graven image, which he made all the time that the house of God was in Shiloh. So the house of God was in Shiloh. I'm not going to go back through that history of Micah and the tribe of Dan. Go back and read Judges 17 and 18 if you've forgotten that. Let's go to Judges 19. What was that history? Was that Judges 19 or 20? I think that's Judges 20. What was it, 21? Oh, 21. I'm sorry. Let's go to Judges 21 and 19. We'll start at, I'll just read Judges 21 and 19. It says, Then they said, Behold, there is a feast of the Lord in Shiloh yearly, in a place which is on the north side of Bethel. So, again, we're reading about Samuel, who was the last of the judges. So we went back and we saw in the book of Joshua, which was the dividing of the land, that the tabernacle was set up in Shiloh. And then when we read in the book of Judges, also we see that the tabernacle was still in the land of Shiloh. So that's why when we go back to 1 Samuel chapter 1 verse 3, it says, And this man went up out of his city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto the Lord of hosts in Shiloh. So does everyone understand that? Okay, all praises. Verse 4. And when the time was that Elkanah offered, he gave to Peninnah his wife and to all her sons and her daughters portions. But unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion, for he loved Hannah, but the Lord has shut up her womb. And her adversary also provoked her sore, for to make her fret, because the Lord has shut up her womb. And as he did so year by year, when she went up to the house of the Lord, so she provoked her. Therefore she wept and did not eat. Then said Elkanah her husband to her, Hannah, why weepest thou? And why eatest thou not? Why is thy heart grieved? Am not I better to thee than 10 sons? You have me. Why are you weeping about those things that you have not? So Hannah rose up after they had eaten in Shiloh, and after they had drunk. Now Eli the priest sat upon a seat by the post of the temple of the Lord. And she was in bitterness of soul, and she prayed unto the Lord and wept sore. And she vowed a vow, and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thy handmaid, and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but will give unto thine handmaid a man-child, then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head. So the scriptures say that she vowed a vow. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, verse 4. I'm not going to go into the vows for the sake of time and Numbers chapter 30, but let's go to Ecclesiastes 5 and 4. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, verse 4. When thou vowest a vow unto God, defer not to pay it, for he hath no pleasure in fools. pay that which thou hast vowed. Okay, so whenever when you make a vow, pay that which you have vowed. Don't say I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that. It's better that you don't vow something than you say I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that and then don't do it. Okay? All right. So let's go back. And then now at the bottom of 1 Samuel chapter 1 verse 11, it says, Then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head. So let's go to the book of Numbers, chapter 6. I'm going to read 1 and 2, and then I'm going to jump down to verse 5. All right, Numbers chapter 6, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When either man or woman shall separate themselves to vow a vow of the Nazarite, to separate themselves unto the Lord. Now, verse 5. All the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head until the days be fulfilled, in the which he has separated himself unto the Lord. He shall be holy, and shall let the locks of the hair of his head grow. All right? So she was making the vow for her son Samuel. She prayed unto the Most High. The Most High heard her petition, and she vowed that she was going to give her son back to the Most High. Verse 12, 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 12. And it came to pass, as she continued praying before the Lord, that Eli marked her mouth. Now Hannah spake in her heart. Only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she had been drunken. And Eli said unto her, How long wilt thou be drunken? Put away thy wine from thee. And Hannah answered and said, No, my Lord, I am a woman of a sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord. Count not thine handmaid for a daughter of Belial, for out of the abundance of my complaint and grief have I spoken hitherto. And Eli answered and said, Go in peace, and the God of Israel grant thee thy petition that thou hast asked of him. And she said, Let thine handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way and did eat, and her countenance was no more sad. And they rose up in the morning early and worshipped before the Lord, and returned and came to their house to Ramah. And Elkanah knew Hannah his wife, and the Lord remembered her. Knew meaning he lay down with her and they had sex. Verse 20. Wherefore it came to pass, when the time was come about after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son and called his name Samuel, saying, Because I have asked him of the Lord. And the man Elkanah and all his house went up to offer unto the Lord the yearly sacrifice and his vow. But Hannah went not up, for she said unto her husband, I will not go up until the child be weaned. Then will I bring him, that he may appear before the Lord, and there abide forever. So she was getting that bonding time, because she knew when she was going to go up there that she wasn't going to bring Samuel back home. All right? You know, this is a little sidebar. I was having a discussion with one of the officers here about how far we have fallen in this captivity. You know, when you read the scriptures, when you read in, I think it's First Ezra or Second Ezra 5 and 8, where it talks about how women would raise monsters. I'm paraphrasing, but you know what? A lot of times sisters don't have time to bond with their children, or they don't take time to bond with their children. And one of the first things we see is, like, and all praise to the Most High, there's a lot of births going on right now in Israel, raising up prophets, is that the hospitals are quick to snatch the children away from the mother, want to stick a bottle in their mouth. What they're trying to do is they're trying to cause a separation even from birth. So when we read these scriptures, we cannot just read over them and not look at the value of what's going on. Not just in understanding the precepts, but she knew that she was going to give her child back unto the Lord. So she spent that time bonding with her child. Does everybody understand that? Does it make sense to you? All praises. All right, so let me read that again in verse 22. But Hannah went not up, for she said unto her husband, I will not go up until the child be weaned, and then I will bring him, that he may appear before the Lord, and there abide forever. And Elkanah her husband said unto her, do what seemeth thee good. Tarry until thou hast weaned him. Only the Lord establish his word. So the woman abode and gave her son suck until she weaned him. And when she had weaned him, she took him up with her, and she took him up with her 3 bullocks, and 1 ephah of flour, and a bottle of wine, and brought him unto the house of the Lord at Shiloh, and the child was young. And they slew a bullock, and brought the child to Eli. And she said, O my Lord, as thy soul liveth, my Lord, I am the woman that stood by thee here, praying unto the Lord. For this child I prayed, and the Lord hath given me my petition which I asked of him. Therefore also I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he liveth, he shall be lent to the Lord. And he worshiped the Lord there. So 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 1. And Hannah prayed and said, my heart rejoiceth in the Lord. Mine horn is exalted in the Lord. My mouth is enlarged over my enemies, because I rejoice thy salvation. There is none holy as the Lord, for there is none beside him. Neither is there any rock like our God. So what's going on now? It says in verse 1, it says, Hannah prayed and said. What's going on right there when she's praying? And how should I'll just say, because I'm not good at asking questions, but I'll just go into it. It says, and Hannah prayed and said, and now she's starting to prophesy, okay? That's what having the Holy Spirit is, because we're supposed to speak the words of God, and that's what she's doing. Let's get that in Acts chapter 4, because you'll hear Christians always say that they full of the Holy Ghost, but they don't keep no laws. They don't do or say anything that pertains to the Bible. So let's go to the book of Acts chapter 4 verse 31. Can you still see and hear me? Okay. Acts chapter 4 verse 31. And when they had prayed, the place was shaken where they were assembled together, and they were all filled with the Holy Ghost, and they spake the word of God with boldness. So when you fill with the Holy Ghost, you're supposed to be speaking the words of the Most High God. Okay, so now let's go back. 1 Samuel chapter 2 and 1. And Hannah prayed and said, so we're going back to what we just read in Acts 4 and 31. My heart rejoiceth in the Lord. Mine horn is exalted in the Lord. My mouth is enlarged over my enemies, because I rejoice in thy salvation. There is none holy as the Lord, for there is none beside thee. Neither is there any rock like our God. Let's get Deuteronomy 32 right quick. Deuteronomy chapter 32. Deuteronomy 32 verse 30 and 31. Deuteronomy 32 verse 30 and 31. It says, how should one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight, except their rock had sold them, and the Lord had shut them up? For their rock is not as our rock, even our enemies themselves being judges. So that's going back into, nobody else has a God like our God. Okay, so I say he was prophesying, so speaking the words of the Most High God. Let's go back to 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 2. There is none holy as the Lord, for there is none beside thee, neither is there any rock like our God. Talk no more exceeding proudly, let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. For the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. So that's why even when we read in the curses, in Deuteronomy 28:15, it says to observe, to do. The Most High is a God of action. If we just hear the word, but we're not doers of the word, it says that also in James and in Romans. I think James 2. Matter of fact, let's just get it. Because it says it says the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. Let's get the book of James right quick. Let's just prove that. Because you need to be able to use the words of the Lord to justify your sayings when you're speaking to people. The book of James. Come on, Bible. James chapter 2. Where is that I want? James. Is that what I want? James 1 and 22. Thank you, brother. There it is. Got to highlight it and then you see it. James chapter 1 verse 22. But be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. You see that? So the Most High is a God of action. Okay, he's not a God of words, lip service. And that's what separates us from the Christian church and any religion, is that we hear the word and then we apply the word. Okay? Get that off the screen. Where is that other one? Wait a minute. Stay in the book of James. Let's go to James chapter 4, verse 17. I'm going to read, stay right there, James 4. We're going to read 16 and 17 again. I'm going to read this out of 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 3. But stay where you at. It says, talk no more exceeding proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. For the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. So when we go to the book of James chapter 4, verse 16 and 17, it says, but now ye rejoice in your boastings. All such rejoicing is evil. Talk no more exceeding proudly. Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good, you know because you've read the word, you've been taught the word, you understand the difference between keeping the commandments and not keeping the commandments. Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. So the Most High ways are actions. We also read that in Revelation. I'm not going to go there. Revelations 22 and 14. How are we going to be judged? We're going to be judged by what's written in this Bible. All right. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 4. The bows of the mighty men are broken, and they that stumble are girded with strength. They that were full have hired themselves for bread, and they that were hungry ceased, so that the barren hath borne 7, and she that hath many children is waxed feeble. The Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. He bringeth low and lifteth up. He raised the poor out of the dust and lifted up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he has set them, and he has set the world upon them. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be in silence. The wicked shall be silent in darkness, for by strength shall no man prevail. So I want to deal with that right quick. Verse 9 again. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be in silent darkness, for by strength shall no man prevail. Says he will keep the feet of his saints. Let's go to the book of Psalms. Psalms chapter 91. Let's go to Psalms chapter 91. Let's start at 9. Verse 9. Psalms chapter 91, verse 9. Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall keep his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. Lest thou bear thee up, they shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. So verse 11 says, for he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. So when we go back, it says, he will keep the feet of his saints. Let's get Psalms 119 and 105. This is one of the basic precepts that we know about the law being the light. Psalms chapter 119, verse 105. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Okay, so when we go back and read in 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 9, he will keep the feet of his saints, meaning he's going to keep your ways. He's going to keep your ways sure. How's he going to keep your ways? By you holding fast to what you know to be true, which is the words that are coming out of this Bible, which is the Spirit of the Most High God. That's how he's going to keep the feet of his saints. Verse 10. So 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 10. The adversaries of the Lord shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king, and exalt the horn of his anointed. So give strength to his king, meaning Christ. Verse 11, and Elkanah went to Ramah to his house, and the children did minister unto the Lord before Eli. And the child being Samuel, did minister unto the Lord before Eli the priest. Now the sons of Eli were the sons of Belial. They knew not the Lord. Now let me ask you something, because it's something I ask brothers. When it says the sons of Eli were the sons of Belial, they knew not the Lord, does that mean that they didn't know to wear fringes? They didn't know to keep the commandments of the Sabbath and the food laws? Is that what that means? No, that's not what that means. They knew who they were, but they were evil as hell. They was evil because them being the sons of priests. That's exactly right. It means they were wicked. Them being the sons of priests. When you read in the book of Leviticus chapter 21, you read about some of the more specific laws of the priesthood. All of Leviticus and Numbers and Exodus, the latter part of Exodus, you read about the laws. But Leviticus 21 is some of the more specific laws. These men knew what their custom was. Their father was a priest. They were priests. but they were wicked as hell. Okay? So when it says they knew not the Lord, they knew to keep the commandments, and that just shows you that today, even when you see on our no fellowship list, who's on there? Brothers and sisters that know they Israel, right? But they, for some reason, they feel like they just can't. They can't walk this walk. At some point, the lust of the world pulls them out, and they follow after that lust. And that's the same thing that the sons of Eli were doing. We're gonna read about it. Verse 13. And the priest's custom with the people was that when any man offered sacrifice, the priest's servant came, and while the flesh was in seething, with the flesh hook of the 3 teeth in his hand, he struck it into the pan or kettle or cauldron or pot, so that all that the flesh hook brought up, the priest took for himself. So they did in Shiloh unto all the Israelites that came hither. Let me see if I want to get this right quick. This is going to take too long. I don't have too much longer. Bear with me just a second if I want to go into this explanation at this time. All right, I'll make it quick. Let's go to Leviticus 8:31. I'm just going to read this one scripture. Leviticus chapter 8, verse 31. And Moses said to Aaron and to his sons, boil the flesh at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and there eat it with the bread that is in the basket of consecrations, as I commanded, saying, Aaron and his sons shall eat it. And that which remaineth of the flesh and of the bread shall ye burn with fire. So when you read through and get an understanding that many of the sacrifices or offerings that the children of Israel brought unto the Levites, they ate off of. Okay, they didn't eat off of the burnt offering, but when you go back and you read like the first 9 chapters of Leviticus, you see what the Levites were allowed to eat off of. So this was the priest's custom that we're reading about. Verse 15. Also, before they burnt the fat, the priest's servants came and said to the man that sacrificed, give flesh to roast for the priest, for he will not have sodden the flesh of thee, but raw. So basically what was going on at this time is them being so damn wicked, and this goes back to what I was saying. They knew what they were supposed to be doing, but when it says they knew not the Lord, it's because they was wicked as hell. We just read that the meat was supposed to be boiled. You put the flesh hook down, and whatever you pull up, that's what you had. They were like, nah. They were taking the raw meat. They was like, before it was boiled, I want that piece. I want that piece. Give me the choice piece. Not going in order of what they were supposed to do. But they was just deboing the people. They was just housing the food. So taking what they wanted. So they was being wicked as hell. All right, verse 16. Does anybody, do I have to explain any further? Does everybody understand that? Or I don't know if I'm doing a good job of explaining that, but Okay, all praises. All right, verse 16. And if any man said unto him, let them not fail to burn the fat presently, then take as much as thy soul desireth, he would answer him, nay, but thou shalt give it me now, and if not, I will take it by force. So that's what I mean by, I got a little ahead of myself by they were deboing the people. They were just housing them for what they wanted. Wherefore the sin of the young men was very great before the Lord, for men abhorred the offering of the Lord. You see, when it says for men abhorred the offering of the Lord, these men were causing the men of Israel to sin. That's why, let's get this right quick. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 47. Because Thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Well, when you have, and I'll use today's example of the Christian church. When you have the church, you go into the church and it's we taking the offering. And then 20 minutes later, we taking a goodwill offering. Then we taking a love offering. You know, already paid your tithes, you know, and it's like, damn. I come in here and I leave broke. And I'm not getting blessed. And what's happened is that many of us, we saw the things that grieved us. We was mad at the Christian church. That's why the Most High pulled us up out of there. Yeah, 1 foot against pastors. See, that's a brother been in church. So the wickedness, and we read it again, verse 17. Wherefore the sin of the young men was very great before the Lord, for men abhorred the offering of the Lord. Verse 18, but Samuel ministered before the Lord, being a child girded with a linen ephod. Moreover, his mother made him a little coat and brought it to him from year to year when she came up with her husband to offer the yearly sacrifice. And Eli blessed Elkanah and his wife and said, the Lord give thee seed of this woman for the loan which is lent to the Lord. And they went unto their own home. Now, when you read that, no, the woman does not carry seed. Okay, don't you know, get caught up into that. His seed, he's talking about Elkanah's seed that he put in the woman. All right, I know that Simple Woman, one of those what they call them, one of Polite's girlfriends. Egyptologist with this, she said a woman can have a child basically without a man. Going into Esau science, all right? So when you read that, don't let your mind get carried off to things like that. All right, verse 21. And the Lord visited Hannah so that she could see, and bare 3 sons and 2 daughters. And the child Samuel grew before the Lord. Now Eli was very old and heard all that his sons had did unto Israel, and how they lay with the women assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he said unto them, why do ye such things? For I hear of your evil dealings by all this people. That's how they made the men to abhor the offering of the Lord. I mean, look, if you go into sacrifice and these wicked pastors, they lay with your wives or your daughters, I mean, you're going to be grieved by that too. They're going to make you add sin to sin. So he said, verse 23, and he said unto them, why do ye such things? For I hear of your evil dealings by all this people. Nay, my sons, for it is no good report that I hear. Ye make the Lord's people to transgress. If one man shall sin against another, the judge shall judge him. But if a man sin against the Lord, who shall entreat for him? Notwithstanding, they hearken not unto the voice of their father, because the Lord will slay them. The Lord hardened their hearts. All right, you read that in Proverbs 20 and 24. And the child Samuel grew on and was in favor both with the Lord and also with men. I'm going to have to leave. I'm going to put one more precept, and yeah, because I'm not going to be able to get through the rest of this. I'm already going to probably be late to work, but let's go to the book of Acts chapter 24. Not that that's a bad thing. I don't mind being late for work to teach, but that's one of the reasons I don't teach in the morning, because I don't like to rush through the scriptures. Do not like to rush through the scriptures, especially not to turn around and go serve Esau. This is Paul. Paul says, let's get it in context. Let's start at verse 10. Acts 24, verse 10. It says, then Paul, after that the governor had beckoned unto him to speak, answered, for as much as I know that thou hast been of many years a judge unto this nation, I do more cheerfully answer for myself. Jump down to verse 14. But this I confess unto thee, that the way which they call heresy, so worship I the God of my fathers, believing all things which are written in Paul and in the prophets, and have hope toward God, which they themselves also allow, that there should be a resurrection of the dead, both the just and unjust. And here's the point, verse 16. And herein do I exercise myself to have always a conscience void of offense toward God and toward men. So that's how we're supposed to be walking. That's how you know that when you watch some of the other camps and all they can teach is Esau's the devil and we're going to kill and rape and all of that. That's not how Paul wrote. Paul said, and herein do I exercise myself to have always a conscience void of offense toward God and toward men. Let's go back to 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 26. And it says, and the child Samuel grew on and was in favor with the Lord and also with men. And there's other examples of that, but you got to be circumspect in the way that we walk, in the way that we speak. Right now, and I'm going to wrap it up there. So, Lord willing, if I teach again, we'll pick up at verse 27, or next week, let Officer Mattathias know where we ended. But with some of the things that are going on right now and with the Southern Poverty League and all of that other stuff like that that's going on, we gotta walk circumspect. Let your speech be seasoned with salt. So we don't have to be speaking evil of any particular people, but we got to carry ourselves as the light. We got to be the light that shines, like Christ commanded us in Matthew 5 and 14. So I would love to take questions, but I got to go. I pray this has been edifying. Sorry about the technical difficulties. But Lord willing, I will get to teach you, brothers and sisters, again sometime, and get prepared for the Sabbath. All right, just a few hours. Donation, if you could post that, brother. Donate to Israel so that we can keep these online classes going. And that the bishops and the elders can continue to travel throughout the four corners of the earth and spread this gospel. And let your walk be a living testimony that the Most High does rule and that we are his true children. All right? So with that, I'm going to say shalom, fam. Most High in Christ bless. My email, let me look it up. What is my email? I just started one. I believe it's KemuelIsrael2@gmail. Let me verify. Google. Hey, wife. How do I pull up my email on my phone? That's bad, I know.
How do you pull up the email on the phone?
Oh, I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. All right. All this time I was typing and I didn't even have it clicked on. Hey, Brother Benjamin, I live 17, 18 minutes from work, and I got 20 minutes now, so I'm probably going to be late. All praise to the Most High. Hey, but you know what? In this captivity, it's good to have a trade. I got a trade. If they was to get rid of me for being late, and I'm not late that often, but if they was to get rid of me for being late, all praise to the Most High. I say, all right, you're gonna have to try to find a replacement, and the Most High got something better for me. All right, so with that, I'm gonna say shalom, fam. Most High Christ bless. Y'all have a blessed day and Sabbath. All right, shalom.